Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back in our original filming location because guess what? We have a little bit of luxury and we have a lot more style coming out of this vehicle right here. This is a 2022 updated Lexus UX250h. Our particular one is an F Sport. But before we get into this small size hybrid crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Lexus. They've been doing the business since 1989 as that premium brand of Toyota. Now, there's many different types of Lexus products to get into. This one here is basically your gateway. It's that entry-level vehicle in their lineup to welcome people into the Lexus family, and then hopefully as their family, their personal family grows, so will their need for a larger Lexus vehicle. Now, this being a hybrid, obviously is bringing some major fuel sipping strategies and savings, but what I want to find out is this the best for a small size luxury crossover SUV, or is it worth it maybe taking your hard-earned money and going with a Toyota product like a Toyota Venza, which also happens to be hybrid? So let's go ahead, let's dive into our UX250h and find out. Right off the bat, the style. Even though this is not a major redesign, it still looks on the more newer side of things, especially when you start at the front of the business. So with this being an F Sport, you're gonna be getting full LED lighting, LED daytime running lamp. They do a great job with their daytime running lamps. On the F Sport side of things, you're gonna get these functional corner air intakes with LED fog lamps as well. And I'm really digging the dark chrome finish that we have on our particular trim compared to your standard UX250h. Coming across that traditional wide mouth open grille, different from an Audi product, but definitely large and in charge. You got your spindle grille design, some black chrome finish, and then that Lexus badge with the blue that designates that this is a hybrid. Now, the reason why I chose a Toyota Venza is that I'm looking close at the price point. Obviously, the Lexus name brings that extra luxury side of things, a little bit different on the interior, but I really feel like the Venza is blending and kind of blurring the lines a little bit, and both of them are hybrid vehicles. So something to think about. Now, when we get up onto that low slung hood, you are getting the sportier style in this UX250h. I do like the way these angles kind of get carried into the hood. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with? We got some big changes, first of all. The thing that we have first up is gonna be these nice gunmetal metallic gray wheels. Y-spoke design, well, actually more like a V-spoke design all the way around. Really fits our particular example. It's an 18-inch wheel, 225 on the width, 50 series sidewall, and I think the greatest change that they have done with this, painted fender flares. These used to be just regular ABS plastic, full painted fender flares. And what's nice is, just like with the Venza being all-wheel drive, this too is also all-wheel drive. So another little kind of way to look at the two different Toyota Lexus vehicles. Now, going down the side, we do have our F Sport badge that does have special tuning, all four corners plus the sporty appearance. We got a little bit of gloss black, and we got our small LED turn signal lights in our side cap mirrors there for the mirrors, and then you're gonna have color match on the door handles. This bottom portion they kept flat black. I wish they would have painted that. I think that would have just helped it blend in all together, and I'm still curious why they choose this location out of all the places to put the hybrid badge. Kind of out of the way and does not really make sense, and kind of just clutters up the side of the vehicle. So other than that, you can see the small size. It is lower than a Venza and definitely tighter on the interior. So what do you want? Do you want a little bit more luxury? You want a little bit more space? Both of them are going to be major fuel sippers. Nice close aluminum style roof rails. You got a sunroof, and then coming towards the rear, little shorty gloss black roof spoiler. The wiper, I don't love it. I wish they would have figured out a way to get rid of it. I think it would have cleaned up the back so nicely on this, especially the way they design the rear tail lights. Look at that, it's like a arrow wing as the air comes off the back of the vehicle with your LED lighting. They kind of smoke it out, the housing a little bit, and then you'll notice that UX250H, H obviously stands for hybrid, and then working all the way down to the bottom, no fake exhaust, none of that garbage, nice dark chrome finish. And then we got the flat black. I wish they would have painted this. Would have been nice to paint this. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about the fuel sipping and the power of this UX250H. Right, guys, we got the hood pop, prop rods out of the way, which is good news. Actually, probably one of the most tasteful engine covers I've ever seen on a hybrid vehicle. It's got the Lexus Hybrid Drive badge, just to remind you in case you forgot what you bought. But what are we talking about when we're looking at this hybrid setup on the UX250H? You're looking at a 2-liter inline-4 naturally aspirated engine paired to an electric motor. One electric motor is 181 horsepower combined. It does have a CVT, just like the Toyota Venza. 0 to 60, I hope you're not trying to beat Dom Toretto, because 0 to 60 is 8.5 seconds. Here's where you're really gonna win. MPGs, 41 in the city, 38 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 3,600 pounds. And like I said, you're gonna have that all-wheel drive, plus the F-Sport does have specific tuning, especially to the dampers, all 4 corners, to give you a little bit more sportier feel. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see how this stacks up against the Toyota Venza. All right, guys, come on into this 2022 Lexus UX250H F-Sport. Say that 20 times fast. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I really want a Lexus vehicle. You know, my grandmother, she drives a Lexus. My mom drives a Lexus. My dad drives a Lexus. My grandfather, he drives a Toyota. But I really want luxury. I want that luxury brand. So how much is this one? Because I don't need a big vehicle. This seems plenty big for me. How much is this one? MSRP, you're looking right around $42,800. Let's see what you get for the money and how it stacks up against the Venza. To the door panels, I like the clean, sporty style. You have soft touch material. This one has the 2-tone interior with that dark cherry color. No gloss black on the switchgear. You have almost like this faux wood design. Door pocket, though, is a little small. It's a little shallow. So maybe just one Nathan's hot dog and a can of Coca-Cola to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, I love the red stitching, the soft touch material, both on top and up front. Then you're gonna get this nice sort of like faux, almost like a graphite material. Very nice touch. 10-inch infotainment system. It's good because it's a nice 10-inch. It's bad, and I'll show you why. You do have an analog clock. The bad news is it's a touch screen. You can touch it. It doesn't do anything. You got to use that pesky trackpad. So we have the navigation up. I know you're saying, well, Joe, why is there 2 navigation screens? Well, watch this. As I'm sitting here, it's easy to use the trackpad. You could show your energy monitoring system. I could go into AC controls. It's just while you're driving, I don't recommend using this because you will get distracted. Along bottom are all the icons when you hit the menu button. It's just, it's very cumbersome. Very, very cumbersome. Every time you hit a bump, it's gonna move all over the place. Don't even ask me to start changing those AC controls because it's that much of a pain in the butt. I'm gonna throw it in reverse. That's a zonk. It's small. You can see our backup warning, which is great. It's kind of great for this review, but it's just very small display, poor resolution. You do have trajectory. It's just I wish it would take up the whole 10 inches. Put it back in the park, and that's where we started. You got your nice dual climate control. This looks very classy. You still get a CD player. So get out your Boys to Men, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. You can sing that with your friend. It's so hard. Yeah. Anyways, pop the CD in there. It sounds better than I sing. So, but you do have a CD player. You got your heated seats, heated steering wheel, no ventilated seats. Where's my ventilated seats at $42,800? Watch this little guy. You got a 12 volt. You do have this little storage area here. Probably, I would say for I would go Twix. Go Twix because those are a lower profile. If you go with thicker candy bar, you might have some issues. 2 cup holders. This is going to control the CVT transmission, but it is very sporty with the red stitching. There's that pesky Lexus trackpad. Those are going bye-bye. New operating software. Also, very unique way for the radio controls, especially the tuning switch here. Soft on this cherry bubblegum of a armrest here, but what I love is I can open it up this way, and you could see that you could put a small steakum cheesesteak sandwich in there, 2 USB A's and an aux jack. I could open it up this way so I could have access to the steakum sandwich. And then the seats, some of my favorite. The 2 colors with the F Sport badge. They almost look like they belong in an RCF. You do have electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver, and a standard sunroof. But why don't you get your butt over here? I want to show you behind the F Sport steering wheel in this UX250H. All right, guys, business time. Come on in. You are going to get, see, when you go luxury and Lexus, you do get the nice aluminum sill plate with the Lexus name. I love the pedal box. Nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle. Large dead pedal, but they could have gave me some aluminum. You are getting the fancy F Sport UX floor mats with the red around the edge. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. And we do have our seat controls. Really get it perfect for you. I'm 6 feet tall. And yes, it does feel a little tight in here, especially compared to the Venza, but I got plenty of headroom, which is nice. Steering wheel, nice soft leather, 2 different style leather, perforated and smooth with the red stitching, the F Sport badge. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go through those simulated gears. And this is an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Dash is my favorite. I love that 7-inch display, especially when you go through the different modes, sport, eco, and of course, normal. And watch this, it actually moves. That to me is worth the price of admission. Very, very cool. That's one of those tricks you could show all your friends. It's got the physical moving bezel there, and you got a head-up display. So you got a lot of nice touches on the business end. Why don't we get into the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be as squished as the steakum sandwiches in the center console. Let's go find out. All right, guys, back seat time, and I'm not going to lie, it is a little tight back here. Not so much in the headroom, which I'm surprised, but I did have to move the passenger seat up a bit to get some nice leg room in here. No pocket behind the driver, which to me in a Lexus is bizarre, but you do get rear AC vents, and you do have 2 USB-Cs back here. Now I have my own pocket back here, so I'll easily put, I would say 2 bags of Tostino's pizza rolls back here. Or maybe some bagel bites. Those are freaking good. Anyways, sitting here, the seats are comfy, and you do have a Charmin soft, this is Charmin approved and improved armrest with 2 cup holders. You can see that cherry red. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area and see how many hot cherry pies we could fill back there in our UX250H. All right, guys, time to get into this cargo area. Now, there is no electric assist, but don't worry. It's made out of a composite material, so it's a lot lighter. You just lift it up, and what you're gonna be greeted to is a pretty good amount of space. You're looking at 28 cubic feet of space. Now, if you're concerned as I am, and you're saying to yourself, Joe, the cargo floor is not very low, you are correct. Now, there's 2 ways you could look at it. You could say there's a high cargo floor and lots of storage underneath, or, watch this, Alakazam 1, 2, 3. Now you just maximize your cargo storage area. Plus, can the seats fold down? Of course, silly. You just go ahead, hit those buttons on top of the rear seats, and they easily flop down. 1, 2, 3. The problem is that if you have the cargo floor in that lower setting, then obviously there's a little bit of a hill you got to climb there. But if you take it out and then you put it in like this, now it's actually a little lower on the other side. So you figure out which way you want to have it as you're doing your Costco run. Maybe you're going to buy the world's biggest teddy bear for your 8-year-old's birthday party. Maybe they'll love that. But anyways, why don't we go ahead, talking about love, let's see if we're going to love driving this UX250H. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go take it for a little spin. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Lexus UX250H F Sport. right away you're gonna feel the little higher level of fit and finish in the Lexus compared to a Toyota product. I mean, that just kind of makes sense. The seats are very comfortable, very supportive. You got that nice large color head-up display. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode. The one thing that's kind of weird about sport mode is that it does make an engine sound through the speakers, and it does not even match like what you would think would be a sound in a vehicle like this, whether it was sport or not. I do love the steering wheel, nice thickness, great leather, and it's easy to figure out what to do and how to do it. Utilizing, like I said, that trackpad though, you want to be careful not to do it while you're driving so much, because you do have to focus some attention on it, and it's more difficult to use than the precision interface pad from Acura, so it's a little bit different than that. Seeing the instrumentation, nice clear graphics. I wish this had ventilated seats. That's one thing I'm definitely missing on a hot Florida day, are some ventilated seats, but the ride is very smooth, very comfortable, even with the F Sport. And you are gonna have some major fuel savings. Power though, not so much so. But it's easy to drive. And like I said, this is a vehicle that Lexus wants you to come into their family with, and then maybe step up to their larger vehicles as your family grows. All right, guys, let's see what on throttle feels like. On throttle, here we go. Into this right-hand bend. Holds a line very nicely. And that's the great thing that I love about this UX250H, is I love the dimensions of it. It's a very tidy vehicle overall, and doesn't have large overhangs either at the front or the rear. So it actually handles really well for the type of vehicle that it is. I could do without the sounds through the speakers, especially in sport mode, but still, like I said, braking feels good. Definitely steering input. On throttle, here we go. So if you can hear that sound, it just, it doesn't even match what the internal combustion engine. It's like I could hear the internal combustion engine, but then I could also hear like this Formula One Gran Turismo sound coming through the speakers. It's really bizarre. But it's sport mode, so that's the mode I want to be in, and that's the mode that it makes the noise. So I wish there was a way to shut that off. All right, let's go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. If this thing had another 50 horsepower, it'd be really, really well balanced. It is more fun to drive than a Venza, but the Venza does have some really cool features. Plus, it also has some major savings at the gas pump for that type of vehicle. So it's a vehicle that really blurs the lines between the Toyota and the Lexus brands. This car feels like a Lexus. The Venza is a Toyota that feels more like a Lexus. But let's go ahead, let's get this out onto the highway so we can see how this thing cruises down the road as soon as this Ranger gets out of my way. On throttle, here we go. That usual CVT driving experience, not the most engaging, but definitely very comfortable and very smooth in here. But going down the highway, they did a great job, of course, with the sound deadening. I'm gonna put it back into normal mode because this is just, I'm not digging the sound. But it's nice that they got the eco gauge, your power gauge, charge, the whole 9 yards. It will be interesting to see if they update the infotainment system without a redesign. But I'm very curious to know what the redesign is going to be all about in this UX250h. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel about what this smallest of the Lexus lineup feels like. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day with this Lexus UX250h F Sport. Definitely got to thank everybody over at Lexus for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Does the UX250h bring enough panache for the Lexus name, enough luxury, or is it better to go with the Toyota Venza? Maybe not a luxurious nameplate per se, but definitely some touches and a little bit more room on the interior. Put your answers in that comment section. But until we meet again, if you're on your way out and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Got to give it up to the Energizer Bunny. We're on car number 45 that we're filming today, and Lori is doing the business. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.